Many of you in the creative space, especially photographers and videographers, will know Lexar. Lexar is known for the past several years for their high-quality SSDs, SD cards, and other storage options. They recently launched Pexar, which focuses on digital frames, which is definitely a great fit for their storage options. In this video, I'll be partnering with Pexar to take a look at 3 of the most popular digital photo frames on the market today. Let's go ahead and get started. The photo frames that we'll be looking at today are the Aura, Skylight frame, and of course the Pexar. You may be looking at these as a gifting option for the holidays, so let's take a look at the unboxing experience starting with the Aura. All right, so right up top we have the Aura picture frame. We've got our power cord. The unboxing experience there was definitely pretty basic with just the frame and the cord. Next up, let's take a look at the Skylight frame. Here we have a power cord and a power brick. We have the digital photo frame. We've got a user guide and then some super basic styrofoam packing. Lastly, let's go ahead and unbox the Pexar by Lexar. The Pexar packaging is definitely more creative and eye-catching, so I do like that. We've got our stand, we've got a power supply, we've got our photo frame. So this is interesting. Lexar is definitely advocating for sustainability, which is why they created the Pexar to kind of save on pollutants. But then they also made this box to be reusable, so you can actually put your own picture right there in the frame, and you can store different trinkets and things in each of these compartments. Here's the paperwork, user guide, manual, safety instructions. For the unboxing experience, I definitely think that the Pexar had the better unboxing experience. I think I'd be more excited to use this product just taking it out of the box. First up, we'll power these on and see which one is able to boot up the fastest. So I'm just gonna power those all on at the same time. The Pexar was the first to be fully loaded and ready to set up, followed by the Skylight, and then the Aura lagged behind considerably. Let's do the setup process starting with the Pexar. Choose the language, we're going to choose the internet. We can change our settings here, type in your name and the frame location. This does have an entire guide here letting you know how to set things up in the Framio app. Next up, we'll just tap the Add Friend button. That's going to give us a code, and with this code, we can share that with friends or with ourselves so that we can add photos to the frame. Okay, just like that, we're all connected and I can start adding photos to the frame. And there we have it. Next up, we'll work on the Skylight. So I'm just gonna scan the QR code, which just takes me to the app. So I'll open the app, we'll add the device. Now you're gonna set up an email for the device so that people can just, I guess, email pictures over to the device. The app gives us a code which we need to enter on the screen. Okay, and now we can start adding photos. We'll just pick from the gallery. Now the photo was sent. With the Aura, there's no setup interface here at all, so you do need the application just to get it set up. So we'll go ahead and get started now. All right, I found the frame. We're gonna go ahead and connect to the Wi-Fi. Okay, here we can go ahead and add photos or videos. And now we have our first photo on the Aura. So each of these were relatively simple to set up. The Skylight had the fewest amount of steps and was the quickest overall to get set up, but we have more options for setup during the Pexar. And we also have a lot more information on the actual screen, including the time, the weather, and even information about the picture itself. The Aura, there again, it was pretty easy to set up, but it was the slowest. So I felt like the UI was a bit laggy, and it did take the most time to update pictures. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and add photos to each of these and see which one kind of operates the smoothest. So all 3 of these are able to upload images from within the application. That's for images and video. Pexar is the only one that actually has an SD card slot. So you can actually put your SD card right there and upload pictures to the frame directly from your SD card. So for those that are less technically inclined, the Pexar would be great, but these were all very easy to figure out and use. I've got all of these disconnected from Wi-Fi. You see no Wi-Fi, no Wi-Fi. Let's just see if we're able to still view the pictures. Starting with Pexar, you can still view pictures on the Pexar. See, you can still view pictures on the Skylight. The Aura here says that it's offline, and you can scroll through a couple of photos here, but eventually they just kind of loop. So it's not able to give you access to all of your photos while it's offline. So taking a look at the UI, with the Aura, you can pretty much just scroll through your photos, and that's really about it. If you do double tap, you can give it a like. Over here, you can give this a like as well, like so. And that sends an email to let the person that owns the frame know that somebody liked it. Okay, and then over here, you've got plenty of extra stuff here. You've got the time, the weather, information about the photo. If you click on this, you're able to adjust the photo from here, and they have this neat function here. You can react to the photo as well, and that adds the reaction there to the photo information. With the Aura, I really like how it takes two photos that are vertical photos here and puts them side by side. It doesn't stretch them out or anything like that, so you get full quality photos here. Over here on the Skylight, it just adds blurry bars, so I really don't like that at all. The pexar does a really great job of cropping the photo to fill the frame without degrading the quality. I like the way that this handles different size photos, and I do kind of like this on the Aura as well with the side-by-side on vertical photos. If we compare the original photo to the photo on the pexar display, we can see that the colors here match really well, and they're still just as vibrant as the original photo. If we do the same comparison on the Skylight, everything is washed out here, and it's definitely not as vibrant. Yeah, the tones are definitely more muted, they're not as accurate, and they're definitely washed out on the Skylight. Okay, as far as the Aura is concerned here, once again, colors are good. They're not as punchy as the colors on the pexar, a little more muted, but definitely more accurate than the colors on the Skylight. All three of these get pretty bright. As far as brightness is concerned, it's not really an issue for any of these. One thing that I really like about the pexar is it has a matte finish for anti-glare. And just looking at these, I can see my reflection on both of these two frames, but there's no reflection coming off of the pexar. We can further test this with a flashlight. You can definitely see the glare on the Aura. It's much more pronounced on the Skylight. In fact, that's probably the worst one when it comes to glare. And then on the pexar, it diffuses the light. So you're not going to see any glare on the pexar. You definitely don't see a reflection. So if I put anything up next to it, you don't see a reflection there. Whereas you definitely see a reflection that's almost mirror-like. And then you've got a reflection on the Aura. With the Skylight, you can easily convert this to vertical. So you can easily convert that over to your portrait. You can do the same thing with the pexar. All right, you can't convert this one to vertical, so you only have the ability to set this one up in a landscape mode. And for versatility, both the pexar and the Skylight have options for wall mounting, so you can put a screw or a nail here or here on your wall to wall mount this frame for Skylight. You also have the option to mount the pexar to the wall as well in either horizontal or portrait. When it comes to scrolling through the photos, I definitely feel like the pexar is faster. The pexar and the Skylight are pretty fast. I feel like the pexar loads them faster. You see there's a bit of a pause on the Skylight. If we do the same comparison here between the Aura and the Skylight, I think the touchscreen on these two is more intuitive. The scroll bar is less intuitive, and it's easier to mess it up on the Aura. Overall, all three of these digital frames were pretty good. The Skylight and the Aura, you kind of have to trade off what's more important for you. I feel like the Skylight was easier to use but had lesser picture quality, while the Aura was not as easy to use but had better picture quality. The pexar had great picture quality and was easy to use. It also had the added benefit of an SD card slot. As I mentioned, each of these frames have their own pros and cons, and you'll have to ultimately make the decision as to which one's best for you. I'll be sure to include links in the description so you can find out more information about these picture frames, and you can purchase one for yourself. That about wraps it up for this video. Thanks guys for watching. Be blessed. I'll see you in the next one.